myself Santhosh. I do have around 9 years of experience working in IT industry, and currently I'm working as manager in Microsoft. My core experience is towards data science, data engineering, and data analytics project. Currently, I'm managing around 8 projects, and total I have worked with around 80 projects from different domains such as banking, healthcare, insurance, e-commerce, and retail. And I'm a certified trainer taking training for KSR for the last 5 years.
In the last class, we were actually working with basics, right? When I say basics, we started with a simple print statement and we went until defining a variables. Can anyone summarize variables? The 5 points. Yesterday in the class, I've told you, I've given you an assignment. Try to find out any other special character that you can use it for your variable name. Did anyone try? Now, let's go into the next one. And for the next one, I don't want to use the same notebook. So daily I'll try to create one notebook. So let me go to the home. We have a file. So let me go and create another file. Okay, let me create a fresh file. And in the fresh file, let me go and name it as Python Basics Part 2, 3108-2023. Okay, right. Now, let's try to work on with simple examples. In the last class, we were able to see variables, and we still did not see about data types. There are a lot of data types that we will have to discuss. So let's take one step at a time. Now, in today's session, we'll work with some of the basic things. Okay. The moment you come into the class, I'm actually wishing you, right? So let me wish you again. Print good morning. I'll take one random person name. I'll take Abu. Good morning, Abu. Hope you're doing good. Have a great day ahead. Okay, I'm actually wishing Abu. So good morning, hope you're doing good. Have a great, and I'll just say this is for Abu. Okay, so good morning, hope you're doing. Have a great day, Abu. I'll just address him with a good morning. And let's say after addressing, another person joins the call. So I have to write again, and this time I'll say V9. I'll again have to go and call another time called Rahul. I'll go and give another call. So what is happening here? I'm wishing them, but what am I doing? What am I doing? Okay, forget about hard coding. What else? I am repeating the same content again and again, right? 90 people are joining this class. If 90 people are joining this class, I have to wish each and every one. Do you think I'm going to do that? Do you think I'm going to, I'll be able to wish each and every one? So let's say I'm wishing from you Python, right? I'm wishing you from Python. So if I'm wishing you from Python, will I be able to write 90 times? Definitely not. Definitely not. So what I am going to do now, I am making the things better, right? Rather than writing print, let me write it in a better way. So if I want to wish you all like this, I have to write 90 times, right? I have to write 90 times, and let's keep it very simple. Okay. And I'll remove all this. Let's keep it very simple. I'll just say good morning, Abu, and I'll make sure that I just wish it. Okay. Vinay, Rahul, and Devi. If all the 90 people are joining, I should be writing 90 lines of code. Whenever we are learning Python, we should also think in our mind that we are the laziest person. We don't want to write all this. Now, if 90 times I have to write this, it becomes very hard for me. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take an alternative one more page. Okay. I'm going to take an alternative one more page. Remember this is our original file. I'm writing 90 times, which is not good. So let me go and improvise this implementation. So I will say, I will write one thing called DEF. Okay, I'll write something called DEF. And you don't know what is DEF, right? We are all in the beginning stage. We don't know what is this DEF. I will write something called greetings, and I will write something called name. I will do like this, and I'll write a colon, and simply I will go and write, hey, good morning, and I will write comma, and I'll write name. That's all. Okay, that's all. Let's see what happens. I've written something. We'll explain this later, but we will see what I've written. Okay. Something you have written DEF. I don't know what is DEF. Something, and after that you have written something. It has changed to blue color. First time I'm saying blue color. Yesterday's class we were seeing only green color. Yesterday's class, we were seeing only green color. Print was green color, type was green color. Today, DEF something I've written that is also green color. But what is this blue color? I don't know. And I've written something. Now, imagine Vinay joins the call. I will simply go and send his name, Vinay. I'll send only Vinay. I'll simply go and call Vinay. A greeting of Vinay I will do. Automatically, the greeting will come for him. Right? Now, again, greeting of Hema, Hema, Vinod, Vinod. What is happening here? Compared to the previous one and compared to this one, what is happening? This is a previous one. Print good morning, print good morning, print good morning, print good morning. Abu, Vinay, Rahul, Divi. Compared to this, who can tell me what is the difference? Here also I'm wishing, there also I'm wishing, but what I'm doing? Here, how many times I've written print statement? 4 times. How many times I've written? 4 times. 4 students, 4 times. Here, how many times I've written? Only once. Only once. Now, the answer which I was expecting from you is this one. In the first example, to wish 90 students, you will be writing 90 times the print statement. But here, I'm writing it once, calling it 90 times. Now, this is something better. But I don't know what is this DEF. What is this greeting? All this I don't know. We are going to learn this. Okay, we are going to learn this. Now, let's do a simple operation. Let's do some simple operation. Very simple. I need to add two numbers. I need to add two numbers. When I say add two numbers, first you need to assign it to a variable. We have already learned a concept called variable. So A equal to 5 I will give. B equal to 4 I will give. So I've assigned 5 to A and B to 4. And if I go and print it, you will be getting the results 5. And if I go and write A comma B, I'll be getting 5 comma 4. Okay, all good. Now I have to write an answer. So I'll write C equal to A plus B, print C. That means I'm getting the answer very much, very simple. Okay, even if you ask 5th standard student to go and write this, he will write. That easy it is to add two numbers. Okay, now this is fine. Now, one more time, my addition has to apply. Like, let's say now I've written 5 plus 4. One more time I need to do. If I want to do one more time, I don't want to lose this result. See, if I go and change it, what will happen here? If I go and change 15, if I go and change 14, the previous value will be gone. 9 will be gone. 9 is gone now. Now it has been replaced with 29. Now C is having the value 29. Now let's go and do another time. The 29 also will be gone. 29 also will be gone. Let's say this is 8 and this is minus 5. If I add it, it becomes 3. So everything is working fine. Every time I am rewriting the function, and this function, I mean, this calculation which I'm doing, which is going to be an addition, A plus B, I am writing every time the same code and I have to keep on changing it. But unfortunately, the old value is lost. So what I'm going to do, in order to make this better, I will try to write one method. Okay, for the first time, we are going to learn one simple function. We will have a separate session for functions, but today in today's session, our objective is to understand some of the Python objects. So what I'm going to do, I will write something called DEF. DEF. Okay, so the moment I write DEF, this is called define. This is called define. For define only, I am giving shortcut as DEF. Always Python comes with shortcuts. The laziest programming languages, Python. Even for data type, it is not showing string, it is showing str. For integer, it is not showing integer, it is showing int, right? Laziest programming languages, Python. We don't want to write complete name. So for define, I am writing DEF. Okay. Everyone in this world is having a name. Even the dog which is in there in your home, it has a pet name, right? Everyone has their own name. I also want to write something where I can reuse it n number of times. Let me go and give something called add. So the name of this method which I'm going to write, DEF stands for define, ADD stands for name of the method. And what should be the value that I'll be sending? Definitely it has to be two numbers which I need to send. The moment I send any two numbers, it will go and add. Okay, now I have to write one colon stating that I am defining something, and I'll go to the next line. Here I will do C equal to A plus B, and I'm going to print C. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. Line number 14, remember this. I am writing it only once. I'm writing it only once. DEF stands for define. ADD adds the name to this function. I am sending to parameters A comma B, and I am going and writing C equal to A plus B, and I'm printing it. Now I want to execute this calculation. Very simple. Go and call that function which you have written, the method you have written. Just to send two numbers, 8 comma 2. You'll get the answer. One more two numbers you want to add, 14 or 15. Another answer you'll get. Add 7 comma 3. Add 2 comma 9. This is what I am doing. This is what I'm doing. What I'm doing, rather than rewriting it, you see, the problem with the first method is I cannot go and keep on writing all the 1, 2, 3, 4 lines again and again. If I do the changes in the same code, the old value is lost. But now, how many times you are executing, that many times you can see the output. I have written only once. The comparison between line number 13 and line number 14 is, if I want to add another two numbers and I don't want to lose this value, means I have to go and write all the 4 lines again, and then I have to go and change this to 15, 13, execute it. Again, if I want to execute, if I want to add two numbers, again I have to write this logic. Again I have to write this logic, 99, 1, 99, 100. Again, if I want to write some logic, I'll go and write 51, 39. So what I'm doing here, my objective is to add two numbers. So if my client is asking to add two numbers, will you keep on writing A, B, 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 and you keep on doing it? Not necessary. Not necessary. How many times you have done this? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, same thing what I have done is I have stored the entire logic add in the one bracket of code. That is one block of code. That block of code I am rewriting again and again for receiving the results only. How many times I have written the add function here? It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. But here I have written once and I've accessed 4 times. I have written once and I have accessed 4 times. And that's where this is very much similar to a previous example, greeting. I cannot greet each and every one. I cannot greet each and every one. So I am making sure that I write it one time and access it as many times as possible. And that is what even I am doing now. I am going to write one function. This is called function. Line number 14 is called function. Now let's define what is a function. Well, function is a set of code that you can write it once, use it as many times as possible with the help of parameters. The one which I'm sending A comma B becomes a parameter. Write it once, read it as many times as possible. Even tomorrow, if I come, if I write this, it will be like one function, and I can read it many times, right? Now that's a function which you can access it as many times as possible. Now let's take one step forward. Oh, okay, this is fine. Can we also do for subtraction? Very good. DEF SUB A comma B, and I will write C equal to A minus print of C. So I've written subtraction, right? I want to access the subtraction now. Very simple. SUB. I will send 6 comma 3. Automatically, I will be getting 3. So I'll tell you what is happening now. Observe carefully. Observe carefully. Observe carefully. Line number 23 and 24. Please understand this carefully. In line number 23, what I'm doing, I am defining a function. The function name is SUB. DEF stands for define, DEFINE, define. So I'm defining a function. The function name is subtraction, which is SUB. This function accepts two parameters, and the first parameter is A and the second parameter is B. And since it's a function, I have to write some logic. So after this one, I have to put a colon. Colon is meaning to the like Python environment, stating that, hey, I'm going to write some logic. In order to say that I'm going to write a logic, and in order to say that I'm going to implement the actual functionality, you put colon and enter it. Automatically, it comes to this line. In this line, I am calculating whatever the person is sending, A comma B. I am subtracting and I am storing that result into C. And that C is what I am printing. Now, what will happen? I'll tell you. What will happen? I'll tell you. When you're giving two numbers, the 6 will go and sit in the A. When you go and give 3, 3 will go and sit in the B. So 6, 3. 6 minus 3, 3. That 3 is what I am printing. Now you give 9 comma 7. 9 will go and sit in the A next time. 7 will go and sit in the B. And so 9 minus 2, this time the answer is going to be 2. This is how I'm writing it once, reading it as many times as possible. Correct? Now this looks good. This looks good. But if I go and give a three variables, it will throw error. Why? Because my function says that subtraction takes 2 positional arguments, but 3 were given. I have given only 2, right? See, how to handle all these errors you will learn in the later part of the course. For today, try to understand. I am writing it once, reading it as many times as possible. So I wanted to subtract 2 numbers. So for subtracting 2 numbers, A comma B is what I need to send. Why have you sent 3 numbers? Since you're taking a 3 numbers, the function which I've written, which is called sub, is not being able to understand. It is clearly throwing an error. Boss, you have defined only 2 numbers. You have written a logic only for 2 positions. Why have we given 3? So this will not work. So I'm throwing an error. Instead of 3, what if I send 1? Subtraction function missing 1 required argument position B. It is also telling you that, boss, you are missing one variable, one parameter, right? You have to send B, which you're not sending. And if I give 6 comma 5, and automatically you will be able to subtract, right? Now we started with a simple greeting, right? We started with a simple greeting. Try to understand here. The one thing which I personally like about Python is, if I want to write a function, right? If I want to write a function, it takes a lot of efforts if you're doing it in any other programming language, because your brackets has to be there. You have to make sure that you write it properly. All these confusions will be there. But in terms of Python, very simple, very simple. Okay, so let me go and see how it is in Java. Let me go and see how it is in Java. Okay, adding 2 numbers in Java. Okay, line number 3 to line number 12 is what? Line number 3 to line number 12 is a logic to add 2 numbers by using a function in Java. Line number 17 to line number 20 is a logic to add 2 numbers in Python. Which one is easy? Java is easy, right? Java is easy, right?
No.
No, Python is easy.
First of all, the function name here is add. The function name here is sum. Just if I give add, or maybe I'll make use of sum only. Here also I will use sum only. Function name is sum, function name is sum. But what is happening? Actually, I should have written one more line, sum of 7 comma 3. So it will go and display. So this is actually, I am defining a function. To send the numbers, you're actually telling the parameters what type of parameters it is. That is why I've told you your Java is a statically typed data types you will have, and your Python is a dynamic programming. What is static? You need to tell what number you're sending. I'm sending number 1, but it is actually integer. I'm sending number 2. It's basically integer. But what I'm doing? Simply I'm giving A comma B. Simply I'm giving A comma B. Okay. Now, in this, I am applying the answer. Again, I need to define the data type for ANS, which is nothing but, let's say, my C. This will be my C. Well, C is equal to number 1 plus number 2. And I'm going to return that. Instead of doing that, I have simply written in Python C equal to A plus B. And I don't know what is this public static. I don't know what is this void. I don't know what is this main. I don't know what is this Java util. I don't know what is this public. The most difficult part, which I don't like personally in Java, is brackets. Lot of brackets I need to write. For one simple addition, open bracket, close bracket, open bracket, close bracket, open bracket, close bracket. 6 brackets I've used. For what? One addition. For an addition, 6 brackets. And the most difficult part why people don't like programming is small syntax error you will get. You would have not opened the bracket, would have not closed the bracket, or you would have opened 2 brackets, you would have closed only 3 brackets. So a lot of confusions will happen only during this brackets only. Brackets is actually a time killing. You need to figure out where it is open, where it is closed, where it is open, where it is closed. Python, beautiful language. No brackets at all. Where I've used a bracket? Nowhere I've used. I mean, bracket was function I've used, but I'm asking in differentiating the logic, in writing the next line, nowhere I have written the brackets. That makes another advantage of writing your implementation. This clearly indicates you that Python is better than your Java in terms of coding, in terms of syntax, in terms of usage. And that is what I want. Data engineers, we have a mountain to climb. Let's make it very simple. The path and journey, let's keep it very simple. If I want to add 2 numbers, write this and go. Don't go and write this. For 2 line, I mean, for just adding 2 numbers only, I have written 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. For 2 addition of numbers, I have written 10 lines. If I want to build a pipeline, I have to write lakhs of lines in Java. Not possible. I am not here to learn coding. I am here to learn data engineering, right? Why will I go and write lakhs of lines for implementing a pipeline? Let's make it better. Python is there. 3 lines. Simple. Do it, correct? And that's what we are going to do. And the only good thing about this is we don't have any brackets as such. But here comes the challenge for us. Now, all this time, I'm talking only about the good things about Python. Let's put a challenge for you. Let's make it some confusion. Okay, always if you go in the right direction, there is something fault with the direction, right? Ups and downs should be there. Now I'll see some negative points about Python. For the last 30 minutes, I was just explaining about importance of less code, or maybe Python is a beautiful, a high level language. Now let's make it complex, right? Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to run this. Okay. I will not use any bracket as such. I'll not use any bracket as such, but I'll simply go and write everything on the same left aligned code. Now, if I go and write, it is throwing an error. It is throwing an error. What is this? Just the 3 lines of code. The same 3 lines of code was working 5 lines before. Now, why it's not working? Why it's not working? Your Python says, boss, you don't send me brackets, not required, but I am a person where you need to maintain indentation. And what is this indentation? Indentation is whatever Java is doing with the help of brackets, I am going to understand with the help of space. The moment you enter the first line, I understand that you are defining a logic, but when you enter, I am giving you a cursor. There you need to write. Only if you write there, I will understand that you're writing the logic. Apart from the place which I am showing, you go and write somewhere else, I am not going to understand. I'm a very much a high level language. Wherever I'm pointing, there only you have to write. There only you have to write. So I am pointing here. You have to write the logic here. You have to write the logic here. Even if you write here, it's not going to work. Even if you write right here, it's not going to work. Not going to work. Not going to work. Yes, it's going to work. Not going to work. Not going to work. Not going to work. For me, indentation is important. What is indentation? It's basically a space oriented. Wherever I'm pointing, there only you have to write it. Why it is very much strict, Python? Because it is making our work easy. We do not want to give brackets. We don't want to give brackets and it will work. In the same case, if I go and do here bracket is open, right? You write it here, you write it here, you write it here, you put the bracket here and you write some extra spaces. You write here and you write here. Okay. And you go and give this everything, whatever you want, you do. Java will work. Java will work because in Java, I am actually telling them a piece of code. That is, this is a piece of code. This is what I need to write. All this I am doing with the help of brackets. Whatever you do, it will be always identified with the brackets. It will be it will be understood by the brackets. So that's why you do extra spaces, like hundreds of lines of code, it will still work. That's why Java is always evergreen. Java people, if you see, right, they'll always be focused on logic. They'll keep on writing something else. Because they know that where to start, where to end. It will always start with an open bracket. It will always start with an end with a ending bracket. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. It will work. But Python boss, I am making your work easier. You don't give me brackets. You just follow my way of understanding. Wherever I'm showing the place, there only you need to write. So it is telling that I am entering in. That means in this line only you have to enter. Just go and put it there. And after if I enter, it is also showing that your print also should come here. So by chance, if you don't do this, let's see what happens. Add of 4, 6. It's not printing. Why? Because it's saying, boss, you did not write a print statement where I was showing. You have written somewhere else. Why will I go and result? So it will not result. If you have to go and write, it will tell you write here only. I will write here. Then I'll execute. Now it will go and print. What we have learned today is indentation. What is indentation? A space oriented, a well formatted coding language is Python. No more brackets, no more putting in everything into a separate logic, no flower brackets, nothing. As of today, it comes with a very simple way of understanding, which is called indentation. What is indentation? A space oriented logic. This is very important. In order to understand this, if I put a colon, it will understand that, okay, the moment if I write a colon, I can go and write some logic. By chance, if I don't write this and if I go and enter, it will show in the next line only, which will be in the start of the cell. Now in the left aligned it's a left aligned because it is thinking that I'm going to enter some other number. It is thinking that I'm going to write some other line. It's not thinking that I'm going to write the logic. The moment if I put this, then it will understand that, okay, now this guy is going to write some logic. That is where this colon will come. Okay, so far, is it clear? This is one, right? Let's go and do another one. Listen carefully. Listen carefully. A equal to 35. A equal to 34. Can anyone tell me? Okay, let's put it 35. Can anyone tell me what is the importance of this number? Anyone? How important is this number? How important is this number in most of your scenarios? This number I will never forget. If tomorrow is an exam, the first thing which I will do is I will aim for 35. 35 is a passing mark for any subject, especially when you're like applying for some engineering or graduate roles. 35 is important. Okay, now I will take this value as 35. I don't know, right? Whether they are giving 35 or they're giving 40, they're giving 45. I don't know. I know I need to know whether the number which you're giving, is it going to be a passing mark or it's not a passing mark. Okay. So what I will do, listen carefully. For the first time, I will write something called if. If A is greater than 35, then it's a statement, right? I'm going to write a logic. I will put, if I don't put colon, it will come here. But if I put a colon, I'm trailing A, I'm going to write a logic. I'll put enter. Automatically, it will show some indentation and I'll write print. The student is pass. The student is pass. Okay. Now, if condition is there. So this is if, and for if I will always have something called else. Again, I will put one. Okay. Again, I'll put one and I will go and write print. The student is fail. Simple logic. Now, we'll try to understand. If I give some value, what it will display. It will, if I write A equal to 35 and if I go and let's make it 20. So in that case, it should show me a message that the student, if I want to make it the student is somewhere around 40, the student is pass. Whether you give 30 or give 40, it is going to get check in this if condition, and this if condition will help you to achieve this as part of your logic. Okay. Now, the same thing, if I go and do it in Java, you know what I need to do? Let's search that as well. This in Java. This is required, 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 this is 50, and anything greater than 35 is pass, anything less than 35 is fail. The same thing what I've implemented in here. How many lines it is?
4 lines. 4
Four
lines.
lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, and include this as well. 5 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 lines I have to write for a simple logic. I had one brilliant student in my previous batch. Okay. When I was explaining the same topic, he posted me one question. Hey, what is this? You're showing 15 lines in Java and you're saying that 5 lines in Python. That guy is a Java guy. See, obviously, I would talk more. I would really appreciate Python because it's making my work easy, right? But the guys who like Java, they will always be against me. You know what he said? You know what he said? You're saying that Python is better, right? Let me do one thing. You're saying this is a 15 line of code and your Python is 4 line of code, right? He wrote like this and he told it's 1 line code. Java will work. Can you make that to work in Python? Can you make this to work in Python? He asked me this question. He asked me this question and I did not have an answer for this. The reason why Java will work, it's actually differentiated with a brackets and semicolon. But problem with Python is indentation. I was talking very proudly like, hey, it's 15 lines there. And in Python, it's just 4-5 lines. He showed me this example. He took a screenshot control. He showed me that Java executes in a single line with the help of brackets and semicolon, but you can never do it in Python. Of course, there is multiple ways that you will see in the later part, but at this point of time, this is a failure because the problem with Python is it focuses more on indentation, and indentation is basically space oriented block. Are we good? Maybe he has written everything in a single line, but it becomes more complex to read. And this becomes like a not a high level language now. I don't know what is this Java, util, scanner, public class. And if I give, I don't know what is this void, and I don't know what is this int scanner, all this I don't know. See, how many brackets? First semicolon, then one bracket, then one bracket, one semicolon, one bracket. Here what you have written? No semicolon, no brackets. Only colon is there. Colon also I'm telling that, hey, I'm writing colon because I'm going to write some logic. As simple as that. Are we good? Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, if I want to check for another number, what I will do, I will go and rewrite the logic again. Okay. I will copy this again. I'll rewrite the logic for 34. I will check. So 34, if I check, the student is failed. Again, I have to check for 36. How many times you'll write the logic? Logic number 1, logic number 2, logic number 3. You know what I will do now? Define, pass, fail, send the number A, put colon. This entire logic is there, right? You put it here, make sure the indentation is proper. That's all. Now, anyone who gives the parameters to this 89, student is pass. 34, student is fail. 35, student is fail. 36, student is pass. This is what I would have done because today morning only we have learned something called function. Why didn't you use it the function? Maybe inside the function I've used if conditions. Day one it will be hard. Okay, why I have to write this colon? Why this indentation is important? But when you compare with Java or any programming language, this is 100 times easy. I keep saying this wherever go. I keep saying this. People say that it's very hard for me to learn programming language. I keep saying this. If you know English, you can learn Python. As simple as that. Anyone who can understand what I've written. Okay, DEF. Okay, fine. I don't know Python. I'll assume that it has some word, some name you have given, parameter you have given, and you have written some logic. If it is greater than 35, you are giving as a pass. If you are giving less than 35, you are giving as a fail. Very simple. That is how we are writing conditions. So today, what we learned, I wanted to greet everyone when you joined the class. I was not able to greet for all 90 people. So I will write once and I'll call it 90 times. That's where I've written one function. And I have also talked about indentation. Indentation is very important if you're writing a Python logic. And after that, what we have learned today is I have given some logic for add function. You write it once and access it as many times as possible. Again, I'm saying indentation plays major role here. And I want to check if the student is pass or fail. So I have to define one value and I'll check if that value is greater than 35, it's pass. If it's less than 35, it's failure. But every time, do you think I'm expecting a logic? Definitely, I will not do this. I have learned something called function. Of course, it's a very, very small function. There will be a separate class only for functions. Okay, there you will be taught in depth. For now, I know the logic I have written within the function by using this define. I'm going and writing the exact logic. Now, whenever you call, you should be able to access this. Are we good? This is about our basics Tomorrow we will go and learn more how to check multiple conditions, and even in addition and subtraction we add only 2 parameters. What if I want to check 3 parameters? All those complex logics will become. See, whatever I'm teaching, it's like a step by step. Okay, first we will learn the easiest one and then we'll go and learn the complex one. By the time you come end of the Python class, you would have learned all the complex things. But now we are learning basics, right? See, if you're good with basics, anyone can go and implement the logic. People will fail because they are not aware of the basics. I don't know what is indentation. I don't know what is a colon. How you will be able to write a logic tomorrow in pipelines? I don't know what if condition will do. I don't know what is this df. What will happen? You cannot write it. We are making our work easier. With that, we'll stop here. One more information which I want to share from KSR perspective. We started the classes from Monday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we have completed 4 days. As a promise from KSR, the first 5 days is going to be free, which is going to come to end tomorrow. So tomorrow will be the last free class where you will be shared all the Zoom link and all. From next Monday, which is from September 4th. September 4th is the next class, I think, after tomorrow. Yeah, Monday. So for Monday, September 4th, you need to make sure that you all have registered with our KSR team. Only then you will be able to attend live class. First 5 days, it's a free class. Anyone can join. Even we are uploading this videos also in YouTube as well, right? So you can go and see again if you have missed it, or you can go and see in our portal. Tomorrow is a last day for making your decision. If you're okay, if you're understanding, you can join. If you feel like, no, I'm not able to understand, coding is difficult, definitely you can opt for non-coding subject. But coding always will have demand. With that, we'll stop here.